Hello and welcome. This is just a quick video how to explain how the rig works because I don't have a picker yet, so it's only as here you have the control rig set. So you have all the rig control here, and you select all the controllers here if you need, and you have the same thing for the face here. So, but I don't have any pickers yet because I'm designing the system, and this is just the first design, the first vision of the system, and this is actually the first application. But you can use those control set if you need to select all the controls or reset all the controls, even do some buttons or something like that. You can use this one. Um, the majority of the options can be found on those controls here. And as you can know, you have the space switch here if you need. You have the ribbon, the ability to display or not the controls for the ribbon, and also for the shapers if you need. Um, you also have the non-roll and the roll collection. I put this connection here with the twist because it's the global and it concerns all the limbs, so I put it here. You also have the switch, EKFK switch on here, and the visibility for each control if you need manually. For now it's auto on, but it's on off. You can, if it's manual, you can switch to on off. But if you keep it on automatic, it will automatically blend when you switch from tab control. Um, and that's it. For some controls, for example, you have the options directly on the control itself. For example, on the clavicle, if you select this here, you have the stretch options, which is available here. Same thing for the head, for example. If you select the head, you have the shapers and you have the space switch available on its control. Same things on its control, you have the space switch available directly on the control. And you have the same system, for example, for the eyes. You select the eye, you have the blink here, blink center, you have the multiplayer for the fleshy idle setup, and you have here the driver for the iris and pupil control. And for the mouse, you have, if you select here, you have the hin, for example, if you want to pinch the lips and if you want to roll out the lips. And you also have all the sticky lips options that are available here. For example, for at the moment I set it by default, it's by 10. That means that auto sticky lips is activated. But if you do it in 0, you will pass in manual and you need to adjust those two values, which for the moment are the maximum value, but you need to decrease them if you pass in manual. Then you can remove this option by passing the sticky lips option to 0. The other things you don't is just control. You just have the ability to manipulate the controls here if you need, and yes, everything is automatic. For example, the lead push behavior you have it is automatic, and you have the exact same feature here for the eyes, for example, and you don't need to activate any options. It does the jobs automatically. Um, you can also, you have the same things for the pole vector. You have the options directly available on the pole vector. If you click on the pole vector, you have the elbow snap, and you have the FK foreign blending, for example, which is directly available here. And you have the automatic pole vector also. Uh, and you have the ability, if you want, you can manipulate the pole vector with the arrow based on the rotation or on translation as you prefer. I have both layers of the system, so you can use both at the same time. And here is just a little control that you can adjust the position of the IK. And you have the world position for the IK, and in layer you also have the local IK. So you can place the controller in world space and you can do the rotation in the space of the wrist itself. And after that, you have the modality, you have the wrist control itself, which is like a FK wrist, which is independent from the FK or AFK. Because I best switch to AFK, I still have those control available. Plus the AFK controller if you need. So you can offset your animation. You can do first animation here, and if you are content on gimbal issues or something like that, you can already use this control module after. On the fingers, you have this control here, and you have, of course, the classic poses that you can find on the hands, and you can access it very easily, and you can place your finger as you like. You have the palm raise, that is not mentioned in the rig, and you have the same things for the side, which is basically the same features that you can find on the foot here. You have for the foot you have an automatic. You can bend automatically, and you have those little arrows that you can manipulate in rotation. You do for the bank and things like that. The green controls I can find everywhere on the character is the second layer of control, animation control, and it's used to offset the wares. For example, if you need in the animation, it will follow automatically the body, and I've adjusted some controls on the offset already. But if you need to adjust in your animation, you can still use those controls and yes, adjust the wares if you need. Um, the lightsabers have a space switch. So the way I do my space switch is I don't I use a mighty knife set every time I do the space switch. So you need to just use the space switch, and after that you just need to replace the control at the right place. I know it's not very handy sometimes, but it allows you to switch the space without moving the position of the asset if you need. So I prefer doing like that. You have an option if you want to make the blade going out. And here on the saber, you have just this little button, which is just to adjust the rig. Just I mean on and off the saber, and you have the same things here that you can adjust the blade length. If it's too small or too long, you can adjust it to this control. And for the dial belt, it's just a simple control. It's just nothing fancy. You just have the space switch as you have on the saber. And basically that's it. Actually, you don't need to. I don't have much to show. Yes, I've on the spine. The spine is pretty heavy, so the model could run slower on some setup on some computers because of this spine, but it's quite handy. You have the fall off here. You can pass to 0 if you need. In 0 you are in full AFK, and if you adjust the fall off, it's like a variable AFK spine, and it's the exact system, but I just adapted to spine. And you have an auto growing, so this controls the auto growing, and this controls the position variable on the character if you need. And I don't know what, sometimes the viewport is doing some very bad things. I don't know why. But yes, that's it for the spine, and you can access to the stretch here if you want. Oh, damn, I don't know why it flips like that. Maybe my graphic card is not updated. Yeah, you have soft IK options, which allow you to don't have the IK popping, which is quite handy when using the IKs. You have the twist, of course. You have the smooth. The smooth is only used. It moves the ribbons actually when you put the legs up, and you have a soft, just a teeny soft modification of the knee here or in the elbow, and it helps you to keep the shapes on, have nice shapes when you move the knee. And of course you have the volume preservation, and you can change the volume preservation for the up and for the lower part also. uh, One thing to mention here is with the auto roll you can modify the bend limit angle of the tool straight, which is those two value which you can multiply actually the value here, and you can adjust the auto foot if you need. uh, you have a separate control here. This control is just is for controlling the hips, but at a different pivot. So it's just the upper vertebra here, which is you have the spine 1 here, you have the spine 2 here, and I place the pivot on the spine 2 here, and you can use it to do the hips movement if you want to isolate the hips. And here, this is the Raven Spice setup. So this is the first AFK spine with this control, and this is the reverse spine. You know, so the cog control of this spine is at the chest, like that. Okay, and the cog control is here for the tendon press. So if you have some crazy animation, maybe she's working on the end or something like that, you can use this spine instead of these spines. It's layered, so each spine is on top of each other. The reverse following the first FK spine. After that, the last spine is the IK spine with the volume preservation, which you can activate or deactivate here if you need. And yeah, I think it's pretty much it. Yes, for the air, you have I don't have much for the air. I just have the FK sliding. It's just for classic poses, you have the hairs that are sliding on the model, and you can switch on and off on this control here. FK sliding. Same things here. Yeah, that's all. I don't have much to do, much to show. Maybe on the main control, you just have, you have the ability to show on off the control. So by default, I just let the controls with the offset and the world on walk, but I had all the rest. And you also have the last attribute to show, that is here, the weapon attributes. That on the visibility you can just have the dual blade, you have the lightsaber 1, lightsaber 2, dual all lightsabers, one dual, one lightsabers, all the weapons display at the same time. By default, it's all the weapons. And that's it. I don't have any proxy yet, so this is you have directly the full rig. It could be EV on some poses. I'm sorry for that because yeah, it's quite kind of advanced rig system here, but okay, I don't have any proxy. I could provide maybe I could update the rig with the proxy system, maybe a lighter model to speed up the rig for now. But I did some animation tapes, and even it's not the best performance, I think it's still running quite well. You shouldn't be stuck actually at all in your animation. And when you are playing the timeline with the parallel evaluation, you have absolutely no problem to read the rig. So I think it should be okay for you. So I hope you like it. Hope it's not too long, and I hope you will have fun this rigging system. If you have any problem, if you find any bug, just tell me, and I will try to update the rig uh, and upload a new version of the rig with the corrected system. Goodbye, and have fun. See you.